In the meantime, I can be probably reminding you about the fact that we have been just freshly partnered a few weeks ago. So we are right now a recognized channel, even by Twitch. So that's all the hard work by all the streamers that have actually contributed to RTS League streamings. So thank you, all of you. You know who I'm talking to, and you viewers, of course, know as well, because you, of course, have heard plenty of voices here and seen plenty of streams from players like, for example, Little Miracle Man, Narve, even Tompix was helping us this season, and plenty others. Chrono JJ, mustn't forget him, of course, one of the admins of the league. And all the work has crystallized into us being partnered, and that means that you can right now support us. And of course, we're gonna be adding also some emoticons for the community once we figure out which ones. So feel free to actually give us some tips. We so far have just 2. That's gonna be kind of problem because we need a bit more subscribers, or rather we need any subscribers than subscribers for one emoticon. That's how it actually goes, as we're heading into the second game of the quarterfinals of the League Cup, which is of course the home map. It is the home map of right now Team Mystic, and the gods are gonna be what? Odinkin as a Kronos, then his allies are gonna be Weasel, Loki, and Nightkiller Ra. Definitely makes plenty of sense. And for the opponents, it's gonna be Issei, aka Samu, as Oranos, then Errorkill as Oranos, and Trulok as Zeus. So basically the same, as they played in the last game. Definitely would be favoring AciD with the Ara. And I'm kinda curious why they actually chose Alfheim when they went with such aggressive gods. Doesn't make all that much of a sense, but maybe there's gonna be some kind of plan, and maybe they also picked it because they wanted a bit kind of more closed up map, which definitely makes sense in that regard. As we are looking at the hunt right now behind the base of Issei, and well, of course, in the middle also we are looking at Errorkill. Everybody should be having plenty of hunt. You can see even double hunt already discovered by the Teal player. Plenty of berries, that's gonna be helping him as well, as he's already having a decent amount of cowies, and even a third hunt. That's not bad at all for him. And is it like the same for all the players? It seems that it actually is. Yeah, this is a very high hunt Alfheim actually. This is a high hunt Alfheim all around. So that's nice to see, because this is gonna be helping TMs quite significantly with their high, or rather with their aggressive lineup. And they will be hoping that they can probably especially stop Nightkiller, but it's gonna be hard on a map like this. And if he booms properly into some kind of 2TC Ra boom, that's gonna be a problem. That's of course gonna be issue. And looking at the positions of the TCs, which of course at the back there are always gonna be some safe ones, that's alright. But in the front, it's not that ideal. Not that ideal, because this is probably the front of a Nightkiller, which is really weird. Like in the middle of the map. This is gonna be front of Odinkin, and the front of Weasel is like on the side. It's not really front. It's basically side TC in there, as the front TC is gonna be much more like this one, which is Issei's. So the map is kinda interestingly lopsided. You can see how actually interesting lopsided it is. The players are not on the side of the map. You can see that Issei is more or less like pushed forward a bit. So is also Nightkiller on the other side. So it's kind of funny. And maybe it could be opening some opportunities for the teams to abuse that. Definitely would be like in TMs to somehow try and stop Nightkiller, because otherwise he's gonna be like steamrolling them fairly easily. But yeah, well, we are heading at 2.5 minutes. Players are moving forward on the hunts and whatnot. And we can, for example, check for some relics, which there are plenty on a map like Alfheim. Okay, so cheaper walls and gates. We might be seeing some of that, so why not? That could be useful. The relic is gonna be better built in pierce attack, definitely great. And for somebody who's gonna be in some kind of defensive or whatnot, as one has already been captured by Nightkiller, and ouch, having that relic already taken by Egyptian, that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard on TMs to actually get on him. Don't envy them at all. 2 lines appear at your temple. That's gonna be some extra help with a few free units. Definitely helps all the time. And faster myth unit training time, that's nothing really all that major, as the very last one that I so far see is gonna be at the top for better Hypaspis, Axeman, Throwing Axeman, and Kiero Ballista. Well, okay, why not? That's always useful. Some better stats for the units, that always helps. Plenty of gold behind the bases. That seems to be basically the theme for all the players. There's most definitely gonna be extra gold for blue, but he already has one right next to him, because he is, yeah, as I said a bit before, a bit moved forward, so it's not like it matters for him a whole lot. Stavros has to Tower of Cestus is already there. And apparently, they're right now gonna be attacking Issei. Yeah, already Kronos right on this doorstep. That's gonna be most definitely joined by Weasel as well. Even though he's building inside his base, he's gonna be moving there as well. That's without any kind of doubt whatsoever. But it's gonna be kind of interesting because, of course, unless they like force all 3 Team Mystics to be basically fighting on the right side, that is gonna be resulting in potentially open field on Night Killer. Even though he's gonna be having the help with the towers, there is gonna be opportunity for Truelock to somehow attack him with Hippicons and whatnot and slow him down. So maybe this could be a good game actually for Truelock, as the temple is right now being deconstructed at exactly nice timing. Well done. Well done. This is exactly how you should use it, to basically deny the free Promethean. Nicely played. And that is a huge problem for Issei, of course, as he's not gonna be having any kind of assistance at all, just Valor. And well, that is it. In the meantime, of course, we're gonna be expecting some kind of army to be coming up, and I would be exactly expecting it a whole lot more from Weasel. Maybe he's gonna be just dropping a longhouse right next to his opponent. He definitely should, because I would be really expecting that he might be the one who will be aggressive together with Odinkin, and they will be trying to force in some kind of aggression. Just a few hunters, Prometheans coming for a bit of scouting, as Hermes is the god of choice and forsative for Weasel. Yeah, well, Weasel is the Loki, so of course, what else would he be at this point going? So towers are at least researched, that's gonna be helping at least a bit for the defense of Issei, giving him a bit of time in there. And military barracks are coming up, and I'm kinda looking when the assistant is gonna be, how is it called? Arriving. That's the correct word right there. And well, in the meantime, Error Kill is finally coming up with a few units in here, but definitely should be heading up. Because so far, it seems like that Odinkin is kinda having a better game than Issei. And much more importantly, of course, Green is already gonna be joining in. And that means pretty bad news, and the Oracles are definitely not going to be cutting it. This army though might. This army definitely might, as they are already coming in, trying to deny some kind of raid-in. And save a few hit points on the villages in here. Still pushing forward. And what's gonna be like the next plan? I might be thinking that maybe Dra, he's apparently coming for the 2TC faster heroic. It wouldn't be the worst kind of idea, bit of scouting with the Katascopos, for actually Dra to go into some reasonable heroic time and for Scarabs to basically help us a kind of siege. I think that could be working very well. Because right now that seems to be exactly the problem, that they don't really have any kind of siege. You can see Odinkin doesn't have all that many Prometheans, even though he kind of probably could be producing them. He's having decent ones as Kronos. But yeah, so far Weasel just not really getting the mythic units yet, but the hamsters are at least getting up in the numbers. But I would really like some kind of full cooperation by AciD, and that would be Night Killer going for some extra siege and sending them through the Shifting Sands to the right side. It did go through Ptah, so yeah, he does have the Shifting Sands. There is still the possibility, of course, of the ceasefire, but if they were actually forcing it on the defense early on, that would be also meaning then a bit later the Loki would be having free flaming weapons, and that is usually not something that you want to allow all that much. Okay, so they're not really moving anywhere. This is just basically a pretty good defense so far by TMs. The Mystic is doing a good job trying to keep their opponents off, or rather at bay. And well, with the army by Teal, it seems that it could be really working, though Blue should be picking up his game quite significantly, because of course so far we don't see all that much of an army from him. And even though of course that's because he was fighting against double in there, maybe just a few better fights should have been taken in there. So is this blocking some important god powers? Maybe some Valor, maybe also some Shockwave. But nothing really all that major, as counter barracks are gonna be placed right next to the opponent's base yet again, and the switch into carry ballistic. Yep, that is exactly needed, and what Kronos is very good at, because of course Kronos does have bonus on carry ballistic, and they're gonna be very strong counter to the problematic Murmilos. Turmas, kinda who cares at this point, by this combination of army that they are having AciDs, but those Murmilos, they could definitely be a problem. Okay, Truelock in the meantime, booming as much as he can, going apparently for a hunt. Could want unsafe one in the middle, but at this point I kinda guess why not, because he knows that he doesn't need to worry about anything all that much for the next, like, about 2 minutes, I'm thinking, because in 2 minutes Night Killer is gonna be in the heroic age, and of course his units are gonna be coming out. Still not coming into the heroic age, apparently not having the resources yet. Yeah, he's venting. It seems that he kinda messed up. He's waiting for a lot of gold. A lot of gold. He could be already advancing into heroic age, so yeah, it seems like that he actually didn't really execute the build all that properly. That's a bit of a shame for him, but of course gonna be helping to TMs quite significantly, as Trulock is gonna be having a bit more time for the hunt in the middle and overall just basically prepare whatever he wants to do. So yeah, I really like that. Really like that. Nicely done. Nicely done. His boom in there. It's gonna be apparently paying off. And of course, Nightkiller might be finding himself in a bit more problems than you would be expecting, as the third TC has been captured by Trulock as well, and he's gonna be trying to basically outboom Dra. That's gonna be a very hard task, because he already needs to be thinking about preparing for some kind of army. Because once Dra gets into the next age, it's getting dangerous very fast. Very fast, as the Migdol is producing units at incredible pace. Incredible pace. In the meantime, of course, this is still pretty good defense. We have to say that this is very well defended by the Mystic, because for the last 3-4 minutes, the yellow player with green are basically not getting anywhere at all. They just basically still stay in about this position. And yeah, you can see that right now green is trying to fight some kind of other battlefield, which might be working, also not. Because of course, there are Kiro Ballistae also being made by Error Kill, which is definitely a good idea against Loki, as it's gonna be helping him mowing down all the units by green. And he's not really getting the myth units. Maybe like housed or whatever. No, that's number 3, sorry. No, he isn't. So he's basically not dealing enough damage. He just basically got right now the INAR, and that wasn't a great battle for him at all. He didn't get the help, and that resulted in pretty resounding victory right about now for Error Kill. He didn't really kill them all, but he did a great job in attempting that, and he reduced the numbers quite significantly. In the meantime, of course, yellow is still on the same spot, trying to basically move forward at least a bit. It's not really all that major, as the third age is also coming up. Can see Weasel is gonna be coming through Bragi in reasonable timing, but much more importantly, some town centers have been captured as well. Weasel is at second, there's gonna be second TC for Odinkin as well, there is a second coming for Error Kill as well. But of course, Issei is in deep trouble. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the time, much more than anything else, to be coming for the second TC. And it's quite close by, so potentially there could be some kind of way for him to capture it if he gets the gold sometime soon. Okay, this is gonna be important battle, because the Kiro Ballistae are also getting in good numbers for Error Kill. And with the army of green being basically eliminated, yeah, he was kinda forced to basically retreat right next to the TC, it's of course gonna be kinda heyday for the right flank of the TMs, and they're gonna be having a bit of a respite. On the other hand, of course, Trulock is gonna be forced right next to his TC. Right next to his TC, as of course this is exactly what we were talking about a bit before. So he was booming very well, but unfortunately without any kind of counter army, he just cannot stop even the Migdol coming up. It's gonna be securing the gold mine, but much more importantly, quite a tactical spot. Because it's gonna be very hard for his opponent to somehow sneak past him. If of course he finishes with a few walls here and there, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be quite easy for them. As well, Trulock is gonna be trying to somehow survive a bit longer, which he might, because he's gonna be having very strong economy. But he also must switch on the right, where apparently there is already a movement of buildings by the yellow player, maybe a bit more into the safety in that, which I don't exactly understand, but well, there's gonna be some logic behind it. There definitely is gonna be some logic. Maybe they thought that through the attack they're actually gonna be losing the position, which they aren't. But yeah, well, at this point, who cares? Battle is more or less equal, and it is definitely TMs having slight upper hand after that quite strong attack on their base on the early game. But this is probably gonna be changing, because the battle boars are gonna be a significant issue. Yeah, they don't really have anything all that significant, those two Atlanteans against that. As for that, they would need Stimful Embers, for example, which are not coming up. You can see only Trulock coming for the third age. As well, the Atlanteans, unfortunately, still sticking to the second age. And in that one, they're really gonna be having problems. They're gonna be having problems with that. So 30C being captured right now by Nightkiller, with the Migdol in there, and trying to basically control the gold mine as well, with a few axemen here and there. But much more importantly, he's actually moving forward, trying to raid his opponent, or not entirely certain what's going to be his game plan. But he is, in the meantime, trying to raid the gold at least. That is definitely the game plan in that. But he has been caught up with by some Toxotype by Trulock, and is that gonna be enough? I'm thinking that it should be. Even though kind of lacking upgrades in there, at least the mediums could be coming there. But let's see if maybe Trulock is gonna be just jumping into Mythic. I'm kind of thinking it might be the case. Irrigation Carpenters already. Purple, that's 6? No, that's not 6, that's 5. Oh yeah, he's gonna be jumping Mythic. He's gonna be most definitely jumping Mythic, you can see that. And that, in the end, could somehow work. It could somehow work for him. Because so far we don't see all that much of an army by Night Killer. He has just now killed like half of it, and he's not really using the Migdol for producing it all that much. And that is giving Tulok all the time that he needs to get prepared with the Mythic Age for the Forge of Olympus and whatnot. Is he gathering enough favor? Yes, he is. You can see already 67 favor. So he's definitely aiming for the fast mythic, for the Forge of Olympus, getting all the cheaper upgrades, and basically then spamming some kind of units, which I don't know what it's gonna be. Might be some kind of combination of Myrmidons, and I would be liking probably Hippicons against an Egyptian, but let's see what he's gonna be making. Because maybe even Hoplites could be useful for some kind of TC Radiant or something like that. Important upgrade, of course, in the Fortified TC. That's gonna be helping quite immensely with the defense. As I want to check, of course, on Hephaestus coming up. Hyperion for Odinkin. That is interesting. But what is more interesting is that the opponents already advanced. You can see at least Issei is advanced already. Error Kill still not. But yeah, at least one with the Stringfire is definitely gonna be helping that. As this army is getting quite strong. And it seems that maybe in the end, Nightkiller is gonna be just in time. As Locust Storm, exactly, nicely cast, gonna be preventing any kind of attempt at deleting those siege towers. But of course, building the fortress in here. Oh well, that could work. That could in the end work. But 40 seconds without being, basically without the ability to repair it. I think this is a good time for a ceasefire. I really think that it is. He's gonna be getting even masons in there. Unfortunately, fortress not gonna get finished, but he can finish a few more buildings, and of course he can get, much more importantly, the mythical age. Where is it being researched here? 93%, that's gonna be well done. Yeah, that is most definitely gonna help. In the meantime, on the right side, the battle is apparently yet again moving next to the TC, next to the base TC of Issei, who is already at 2. Apparently 30C is gonna be coming up for error kill, but unfortunately for him, he's gonna be forced to defend quite significantly. As Red is moving forward in the middle as well, so is Odinkin, and they're gonna be, of course, denying all of the gold. All of the gold. There is one gold mine at the very back that's gonna be helping in the market as well, so it's not really all that impossible. There are a few extra gold mines which are gonna help. Yeah, right now they see where the hunt is, or rather where the trade is, not really hunt, but it's Kataskopos just waiting in there for his Underworld Passage opportunity, if he can potentially get it. So, of course, that's gonna be Frost Giant in here, and it's gonna be easy battle. The Chaos, though, is gonna be a bit of a problem for, of course, Steel. But let's look somewhere else, at the top side, where the TC is exactly at stake, and at this point it seems that even with all the extra upgrades it's gonna be coming down, but it's gonna be close, not that much in the end. TC is down, but still at 2 TCs, he definitely could be useful, but with Tyr in there, oh well, that might be just the last nail into the coffin right now, because fighting even against extra wolfies, that is not exactly huge. It is not exactly huge. So this is more or less equal though, because of course the units from the Mythical Age, heavy Myrmidons already. That's a nice upgrade in the meantime. Very nicely played by Trulock in there. He could be getting the TC back in no time, as at the bottom, even heavy Trumas are here. No upgrades in the army. For the yellow though, it's probably gonna be the same. I'm thinking, oh, he's actually having copper weapons at least. But yeah, here we go. We are not gonna be having disrupted flaming weapons because of course the ceasefire was already used as well. So flaming weapons by Weasel, supported by all the wolfies, and you can see with the extra boars that is gonna be nice. Well, the battle boars here are not gonna be enough, but here at the back they just might be, even though of course all the upgrades are already in. Even the Masons and Fortified TC, nicely played by Issei. Okay, Samo, that's well done. As this army is somewhere else, and it's definitely decimating all the flaming weapons army. And at this point, this is well defended by TMs. And I'm kinda thinking messed up by Weasel. This is not really working. He probably tried to do too many things at once. You can see they didn't kill anything all that much. They lost the boars here. The boars here are not gonna kill the TC because the Phaliambers are already coming for them with all the heroes. So this was some kind of idea. But it definitely didn't work. It didn't work as they were hoping for. They didn't think that they could really do anything with that. Well, They probably thought, and maybe they should have, but it just didn't pan out. As well, Trulok right now is gonna be trying to desperately get the TC, and it's gonna be all about him getting that. If he can, then maybe it could be working. You can see that he doesn't have even Forge of Olympus yet, as of course, yeah, the construction on this one palace, that is an issue, and you can see, oh, all those dead citizens. You can see about 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dead citizens right there. 6 there. Oh, that's a blow to your economy. That's actually a pretty big blow to Error Kill's economy. And yeah, there's no wonder that he's right now quite last on the points in that. It makes plenty of sense, as his front TC is also being taken, and that will probably be stolen by AciDs. They have also started quite a nice trade route already. That could still be disrupted. You can see even transport of towers. Nicely done. Yeah, potentially some underworld passage could be coming to the back of their bases, but it doesn't seem like that it should be really coming all that soon. It probably won't be. As well, at the bottom of Weasel, even though he has lost plenty of units in there, he is in the Mythic and he's gonna be using the Ballistae to be as annoying as possible on the DC, and even with some extra towers and trying to wall up. So, apparently, this is gonna be right now called by all the TMs, and AciDs, well, are gonna be winning the match. Winning the match and advancing into the semifinals of the League Cup. So congrats, as at the top, Trulok probably would be able to fight for a bit longer in there against Nightkiller. Yeah, that seemed like that he possibly could, but it wasn't looking all that promising that he would be able to retake the TC. Even switching into Peltasts in there, which are useful of course against Chariots, like quite a lot. If you can micro them, that definitely would be nice. That definitely would be nice indeed, and... well... what kind of relic is he actually talking about? Oh, this one. Better hero speed. Oh, that would have been huge. That would have been huge for the Loki, of course. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. And Wolfies, well, they were just basically waiting to eat all of those villages in here. But, of course, yeah, Nightkiller, that was just a very strong push into him. Very strong double. And he basically bought the brunt of the attack in the middle. Even there was an attack for a moment by Nightkiller, so that was kinda almost a triple on him. And that of course couldn't have really worked all that well for the Atlantean. And well, in the end he didn't. Even through the very nice assistance by Issei, he did send the army in there. They were able to overcome the flaming weapons with the Fimbulwinter quite fine. But then, yeah, well, the game just kicked in. Just kicked in for AciDs. Interesting strategy by especially Trulok. It almost worked for him. But he just kinda needs some kind of army before. He needs to be at least delaying the Migdol and trying to help him basically survive the early push. The push can be very fast by Dra, and that's exactly what cost him the TC and why he had to use the ceasefire in a moment where he basically didn't want to. Okay, so let's go into the post game to have a look on Weasel's total score in there. That's gonna be the highest for him. So he was playing nice, but overall, I kind of think this was actually a competent game by all the players. They were probably playing what they wanted. And well, the battle between Trolloc and Nightkiller have actually been quite interesting in 1v1. We'll be interested how that would play out. Because it seemed like they were kinda equal. Kinda equal in there, not really being able to push through each other. Even though Trolloc was down to 2 TCs, Nightkiller was still, of course, having problems kinda finishing him up. But that's how it goes with the Zeus. He is quite competent, even in 2 versus 3, when he gets the Mythical Age and finally gets some upgrades going. So Weasel unit skill, oh, that's a good efficiency, which is gonna be due to, I'm thinking, Wolfies and maybe even slightly the flaming weapons in there. But otherwise, military count for error kill 125, kill just 67. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That seems like the error kill was taking all the wrong fights or whatnot. You can see Nightkiller though wasn't doing a whole lot better. He wasn't really all that efficient either. Units lost 94 in there. Yeah, well, that's what happens. Trulok though, military count 58, unit skill 93, but lost 96 as well, so he lost plenty of villages in there. Yeah, well, all those little stats. And Hierarchical unfortunately couldn't get the research count going in there. It may be also part of his problem why he was losing so many units. Even though, of course, he had to force himself into quite heavy production very early to help his teammate basically save him in the game. And that does influence how the game goes for you, of course. Did he even send something? No, not much. Just apparently Nightkiller was sending a few resources here and there. And yeah, that was the big battle. He lost plenty in there, even plenty of economy. You can see we could have seen about 6 citizens, and that's a huge blow. That's a huge blow at basically any point of the game for the Atlantean. You can see the drop. That's sad. That is sad. Okay then, GG.